I remind myself daily that I am strong as hell and I can do hard things even when I don't feel like I can. One of the biggest fears is fear around finances and around money. But I also think that this scarcity mindset is what fuels our belief that we're never going to find love again, right? That there's nobody out there for us. So if you are somebody who is feeling stuck or you are struggling with a very difficult time right now and going through that difficult season, I want you to freaking write this down. I want you to slap it on your mirror. I want you to put it wherever. I don't care if it's like on your screensaver on your phone. I want you to put it where you can remind yourself daily. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Wellness Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Amber Shaw. Thank you for joining me today. So as many of you know, I started over at the age of 40 in midlife with 2 young kids. I left corporate America. I built a 6-figure business in a matter of several months from scratch. And I really finally started showing up as the woman that I was meant to be at the age of 40. And I got to tell you, it was not freaking easy. I made a lot of mistakes and I faced so many sleepless nights and shed a lot of tears. And honestly, I had so many freaking moments where I wondered if I was ever going to get through my midlife interruption. But I did. And now I'm to the other side. And looking back, there are a few things that I wish I could go back and tell my younger self and tell my old self to really make those difficult times just a little bit easier. And so that's why in this episode, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew post-divorce. I'm going to tell you, if you are somebody who's not going through divorce, this episode is still for you because I think that this really does apply to just anything that you are going through that's difficult in your life. And so even if you are freshly divorced or you're in the middle of a separation or whatever that looks like for you, I really do feel like this applies to pretty much everyone because these are the types of things that if I wish I knew them back then, I think I could have gotten unstuck a little bit sooner. So the very first one I want to share is that really reminding yourself that just because things are hard doesn't mean you aren't capable. A mantra that lives with me, Glennon Doyle says it all the time. And in fact, as her podcast name is, I can't remember her podcast name is, but she just says it all the time. I associate this with her, which is, I can do hard things. It is like the mantra that I live by. And I remind myself daily that I am strong as hell and I can do hard things even when I don't feel like I can. I think that it's so easy when you're going through a hard time or just even on the daily. I think it can be so easy to feel really, really overwhelmed and really start to question your strength when you are faced with so much change. I mean, good God, anybody that's ever gone through divorce will tell you that you want anything to test your strength and find out what you're really made of. Holy shit, go through divorce, right? You might think to yourself, oh my God, can I really do this? Am I strong enough to do this? But as I said, I got to tell you, and I really want you to own this and believe this, that just because it's hard doesn't mean you aren't capable. Now, does it mean that you may have to find an inner strength that you never knew existed? Hell yeah. Does it mean that you may have to show up differently and change some things in your life? Abso-freaking-lutely. But it doesn't mean that you're not capable. So if you are somebody who is feeling stuck or you are struggling with a very difficult time right now and going through that difficult season, I want you to freaking write this down. I want you to slap it on your mirror. I want you to put it wherever. I don't care if it's like on your screensaver on your phone. I want you to put it where you can remind yourself daily of the boss that you are. And I want you to remind yourself that you can freaking do hard things. Now, the second thing that I wish that I would have tapped into, that of course I realize now, but I wish I would have tapped into sooner, was really focusing on having an abundance mindset. when you're going through divorce, when you're in the middle of one or after divorce, things can feel really scarce. And I'm not just talking about money, but that is definitely the biggest thing, right? The biggest, I think for a lot of women, one of the biggest fears is fear around finances and around money. But I also think that this scarcity mindset can also is what fuels our belief that we're never going to find love again. Right? That there's nobody out there for us, that we're going to be alone, that we're damaged goods, right? We're not going to have enough money, that we're not going to have enough support, right? That we're not going to have enough X, Y, and Z. And I want you to know, if you're struggling with that, it's completely normal. Good God, I struggled with this so much. I mean, this whole scarcity mindset around money is what really fueled me to start my business. I also wanted to really get into something that lit me the hell up again, because I was tired of living and working in corporate America. And I really wanted to create something of my own. But a big driver around that was the lack of, was fearing a lack of money, right? And worrying about that. And that really goes back to a scarcity mindset. And so it really is super, super common, because all of this, especially the financial changes, can be really, really scary, especially if you're going from 2 incomes to 1. And the future can feel really, really uncertain. But what I wish that I knew back there is that scarcity and all of those fears around money and being alone and the unknown and all of it, it's a mindset. It's a mindset just like abundance is. And when it comes to mindset, you have to actively choose which mindset you are going to have. That is a choice. That is a choice. What is the mindset that you are going to have? Now, will I say that, really trying to adopt the abundance mindset is going to solve all your problems just like that? No, it's not. But what it's going to do is that it is going to allow you to see the possibilities rather than your limitations. It's going to allow you, when you adopt an abundance mindset, it is going to allow you to see what's possible for your life and what's not. And that's where your energy will go. And that's where your focus will go. And that's how you manifest shit. Just like that. By believing first that it's possible and then taking small action to try and work towards that. But you can't get there if you are stuck in this loop of lack and scarcity. You have to believe that there is enough of whatever it is that you're searching for, love, money, time, support, that there is enough of it out there for you, and you do have the power to create that if you want it. So I want you to start getting clear on, maybe if it is about, let's say, money and you're worried about finances, right? Start getting clear on your finances, really focusing on having that abundant mindset, setting small, manageable goals, and really believing in your ability that you can achieve them. I mean, this is exactly why I work with women post-divorce to create side hustles, to create business. But if you are stuck in that scarcity mindset that you can't do it, that's where you're going to stay stuck. Then you're not going to do it. And you're going to live your life in this constant fear and this constant loop. But you have to get out of that. And I can tell you that when I really did shift my mindset from one of fear and scarcity to one of abundance, even though I didn't have it all figured out, even though I didn't have all the answers, even though I didn't have the plan, even though the money wasn't in the checking account. But when I really just started to be intentional every single day of focusing on that abundance mindset, I started to notice opportunities that I never saw before. This is where you hear people say oh, doors just started to open. No, it wasn't some just magical doors started to open. Your eyes were open to see that those doors were available for you, that those opportunities were available for you because you were in the abundance mindset. And I can tell you that for me, like things like money management, like learning how to invest and starting my side hustle, which is now obviously the full-time gig, the company that you see today, it really became exciting to me and rather than intimidating because I knew there was enough to go around, right? I knew that I also could have abundance in all of those areas, especially finances, if I just kept pressing forward and looking for the opportunities and getting intentional with that. And when I work with women in my programs, it's exactly what I help women to do because it's so, so important. So the last one that I want to say is, a lot of things are going to feel out of control for you right now. So I really want you to focus on taking control of the things that you can and letting go of the rest. In my program, Renew You, I actually help women. There's a tool that I use called the Face It tool. And it is a tool that helps women to really just first of all, just get really clear on what are a lot of these like fears and anxieties that are really holding us back. And then it's a systematic way to start to categorize them. Is this controllable? Is this something that's in my control? Is it influenceable, right? Is it maybe not directly in my control, but I've got some influence over it? Or is it completely out of my control? And then what do you do with that? And how do you start to create action, especially around the things you can control and start focusing on that so that you're not constantly focusing on the things that you can't control? Right? Like your ex's behavior, right? Or things like that. That is something that you might not be able to control or, worrying about if others are judging you because of your relationship status. You can't control what others think of you. And oftentimes, sidebar here, oftentimes that's really our perception. That's not really what's going on. And we all know that, right? So it's really about starting to focus on things we can control. And honestly, if you're stuck and trying to figure out where to start, starting with your health and taking care of you is the very first place. That's the very first place to start because as we know, when you are going through divorce or really any sort of midlife interruption or doing anything hard and things just feel like they're really spinning out of control, oftentimes taking care of ourselves is the first to go. Right? That can be the first to go. And you can start to feel so just powerless over so many things. And so I know for me, when I was going through divorce, it was like, I was in this overdrive of trying to save the marriage, trying to make sure my kids were okay, trying to keep work together, trying to do all the things that really what was sacrificed was me and my well-being. And so, if you are somebody who is really struggling right now because you feel like things are out of control, I want you to focus on you. And keep it basic. Let's just start with get enough sleep, right? Let's just focus on moving your body. Let's just focus on, fueling your body with just nutritious foods and not numbing with too much wine or sugar or things that are just going to keep you in that cycle of feeling like shit. Let's break the cycle and it's got to start with you, but you can do it in a manageable way by taking small, achievable steps, right? Maybe for you, what that looks like is, hey, I'm just going to get 8 hours sleep tonight. I'm going to get some water in and I'm going to go for a walk. And that's enough for today, but start with you. It really is amazing that when you start to focus on taking care of you and really taking care of your body and your mind, that's where the strength and the clarity comes to tackle everything else. It's amazing how empowered you can feel when you just start taking care of you. We actually focus on this a lot in when I work with women, especially in Renew You. So there you have it. Those are really the 3 things that I wish I could go back and tell myself post-divorce. I know that starting over can really feel like the hardest thing in the world. But what I want you to remember is, girl, you are stronger than you think. You have an inner strength in you that you probably never knew existed. But there is always an abundance of everything that you need available to you. And taking control of your health is a very powerful first step in reclaiming your life. So you've got this, and I've got you every step of the way. And I'm cheering you on, girl. I'm in your corner. And so if this is hitting for you, my program that actually the doors opened up today, and I'm so freaking excited about it. This program is called Renew You. Now, this program is for women who are divorced or going through a divorce and are really ready to transform their life, to heal emotionally, to rediscover themselves again, and to build financial freedom. And so not only in Renew You are we going to be talking about a lot of these limiting beliefs and how to really move past them, but we're really going to be talking about, and I'm going to be sharing with you a step-by-step plan for really how to move yourself forward and create the life you never imagined post-divorce. Now, the doors are only open until this Thursday. Because I'm taking a limited number of women in this program, I am only opening the doors for 4 days. Today is the 23rd, and I'm closing them down this Thursday. So if you want more details about Renew You and you are a mom over 35 who is living divorce life, or you are experiencing divorce and you really need some support of getting to the other side, like I said, to heal your shit, to take control of your money and really get back to you, then you definitely want to check out Renew You. So you can go to products.ambershaw.com/renew you. That's RENEWU. Or head to the link in the show notes and you can check it out there. Thanks so much for joining me.